Hello everyone. Recently, the railway launched a low-cost train, which is said to be a slow train with a public welfare nature. Although it is not fast, the price is only 1/10 of that of the high-speed rail, so it is very popular. I also took this train to travel to and from another city. This train travels to Zaoyang, stopping there for an hour to allow passengers to disembark at the final stop, change direction, pick up passengers at the starting stop, and return. It only runs this once a day. Considering the short travel time, leaving almost no time for outings, I chose to get off at the penultimate stop, Suizhou. This, combined with the round-trip travel time between Suizhou and Zhaoyang, gives me approximately 3 hours in total. As you can see, the passenger flow is quite good, and all the tickets are sold out. However, as a short-distance train, this train only has 6 carriages, while long-distance trains usually have 18 to 20 carriages. I had just found my seat when the passenger next to me offered to switch seats with me. She and her companion probably hadn't bought their tickets at the same time when buying tickets online. If it's part of a single order, adjacent seats are prioritized if there are any available. However, if tickets were purchased separately, they might not be in the same carriage. I asked, and their destination was also Suizhou, so I agreed, thinking it would be helpful. If their destination is closer, it's best not to agree to switch, because they will get off before you, and their seats will be sold to others. Then, passengers boarding later will find those seats, and things will get complicated. The other person was probably traveling with a group and asked you to return to your original seat. However, you might have a large suitcase, making it difficult to get back to your original carriage. To make matters worse, there were no luggage seats left in your original carriage. In short, changing seats on the train is a hassle, but luckily I only had a backpack, so I didn't complain. After arriving at the first stop, some passengers disembarked. Then, as the train entered its second stop, many passengers stood up. Almost no one boarded at either of these stops, suggesting that, aside from the train bound for Wuhan, there wasn't much connection between these destinations. This train uses the most basic carriages and is currently the only train with openable windows. Most bullet trains and other green-skin trains currently have integrated windows that cannot be opened and require air conditioning for ventilation. However, since it is winter now, it is very cold to open the windows while the train is moving, so they were only opened briefly during the stops. After a journey of more than 2 hours, the train arrived at my destination, Suizhou Station. This was the only prefecture-level city that the train stopped at after it departed. The other stations were all county towns. As you can see, this is the station with the most people getting off. Next, I'll take it back in 3 hours. I glanced around and saw a fairly large park nearby, so I decided to check it out. After passing a large group of drivers soliciting passengers at the exit, I wondered if they were unlicensed taxis. I decided to check out the front of the station first. This station is a typical Chinese-style station with a huge square in front. The park is just 2 blocks ahead on this road. I plan to walk there slowly, as I don't dare to go too far due to time constraints. The green light lasted too short a time. It turned red before I even got to the other side of the road. The sign uses a direct translation of internet red, but it should actually mean internet celebrity. If there's anything famous about Suizhou, it's that it claims to be the birthplace of Emperor Yan. The Emperor of Yan is also one of the ancestors of Chinese nation. The Chinese are also called the descendants of Yan Huang. Hello everyone, I'm at the entrance of the Suizhou Cultural Park. It's divided by 2 parts by this main road, the eastern and the western part. Judging from the map, it's more like the south and north part. But let's follow the official name. At first, I travel to the eastern part. These are the main gates for the east and west sections, respectively. Unexpectedly, it's Lian Zhan's inscription.
I felt a little sweaty. Wow, what a big statue.
This is Shanhong's pilgrimage island. Shanhong was a monk during the northern Song dynasty and the second monk after Xuanzang to travel to India to obtain Buddhist scriptures. After returning to China, monk Shanhong spent his later years in a temple in Suizhou city. However, the temple was destroyed by wars throughout history and has now been rebuilt by the government. They prepared equipment for rescuing people who fell into the water in advance, which is highly commendable. This is the Gusao Bridge, named after a local legend. A man had a young sister. He died after his marriage from a log bridge while going out. To prevent such a tragedy from happening again, his wife and sister vowed never to remarry and to build bridges for the benefit of the people. Ultimately, two bridges made travel safer, the Gu Bridge and the Sao Bridge, collectively known as the Gusao Bridge. Gu refers to the husband's younger sister, and the Sao refers to the brother's wife. Of course, the original bridges weren't here. These two bridges can be understood as exhibits built to commemorate this cultural story. Liuyi Island is named in honor of Ouyang Xiu of the Song dynasty. Ouyang Xiu was from Jiangxi, but after losing his father at the age of 4, he went to Suizhou to live with his uncle and grew up here. In his later years, Ouyang Xiu called himself of the 6-1 hermit, with the 6-1 referring to his collection of 10,000 volumes of books, 1,000 volumes of inscriptions on metal and stone, a zither, a chessboard, a pot of wine, and an old man. As the time is limited, I need to hurry up to the western part. There's an underground passage that leads to the west, but unfortunately, it still requires a long detour to reach the giant statue. The colossal statue in the distance is of Jiliang, a high-ranking official of the state of Sui during the spring and autumn period. Suizhou, the prefecture of Sui, is named after the state of Sui. Jiliang is renowned in history for his wisdom, as he was one of the earliest thinkers in Chinese history to propose a people-centered approach. Many of his theories were absorbed by later theorists, and his influence can be seen in Confucianism. It's probably hard to tell exactly how tall this statue is from the camera lens, so I'll do a comparison. I'm not even as tall as the base of this statue. So I need to catch the train and have to leave here. It seems that the original main entrance of the station should have been in the middle, but it was moved to the ticket hall for convenience. A small mishap occurred here. It seems the cage of a passenger's pet bird was opened and all the birds flew out. Although they can't fly away in the station, catching them is quite a challenge. So, that's all for today's trip.